Picture this. Dense greenery stretches endlessly toward the horizon. The still surface of a mossy pond mirrors the sky above. A moose wades delicately through reeds. A heron takes flight. And somewhere beneath the surface, unseen life stirs. This is Canada's wetlands, a wondrous, vital, and often overlooked part of the country where land and water become one. Did you know that nearly 25% of Canada is covered in wetlands? That's right. 1/4 of the second largest country in the world is composed of marshes, peat bogs, fens, and swamps. From the expansive boreal forests in the north to the temperate wetlands of southern Ontario, these ecosystems stretch across the nation, creating some of the richest and most diverse habitats on Earth. Here in the wetlands, life thrives in abundance. Peat moss carpets the ground like a sponge, soaking up vast amounts of water. Dragonflies zip through the air, their shimmering wings catching the sunlight. Rare orchids bloom quietly along the damp earth, while frogs croak from hidden perches, seeking mates. These wetlands are a sanctuary for wildlife, from muskrats and beavers to black bears and migratory birds. For species like the endangered whooping crane, these habitats aren't just a home, they're a last refuge. But wetlands aren't just havens for wildlife, they're also critical for the planet. Think of them as nature's kidneys, filtering and purifying water, trapping pollutants, and preventing floods by absorbing excess rainwater. And there's more. Wetlands are powerful carbon sinks. Canada's peatlands alone store billions of tons of carbon, acting as a natural barrier against climate change. In fact, the wetlands in Canada capture and store as much carbon as the Amazon rainforest, quietly doing their part to keep Earth's climate in balance. For thousands of years, these spaces have also been sacred to Indigenous communities. The wetlands provide food, medicine, traditional materials, and spiritual connection. The bond between people and these ecosystems runs deep, tied to stories, traditions, and a shared history of respect for the land. But today, the swamps and wetlands of Canada face threats. Agricultural expansion, urban development, and pollution have chipped away at these ecosystems. Over 70% of the wetlands in southern Canada have already been drained or destroyed, leaving wildlife and communities more vulnerable to floods, water shortages, and the effects of climate change. Still, hope remains. Conservation efforts aim to protect and restore what's left, with groups working tirelessly to preserve these habitats for future generations. By recognizing the importance of wetlands, not just as landscapes, but as lifelines for biodiversity and humanity, we can honor their value. So next time you hear the rustle of reeds, or spot a lone heron standing silhouetted in a swampy vista, take a moment. You're looking at one of the planet's most precious ecosystems, a quiet haven with a big impact. Canada's wetlands might not always get the spotlight, but they are, undoubtedly, the lifeblood of the land.